Alright guys, sorry about that. I am back. We shall continue this page actually. Let me just sit down. So I'm hoping this is in focus. I am still trying to figure out this whole camera thing. For some reason it tends to want to go sideways even though I have the auto rotate on or off. It doesn't matter. There's no rhyme or reason. Sometimes technology and I just do not get along no matter how hard I try. So anyways. In the meantime, I have found a few yellow things. So this, first of all, it's handmade paper. It's been in my stash for eons, actually. But you can see that it's handmade because it has the long fibers in there. But it's yellow, and I thought maybe we could do something. So this side is smoother than the other side. Yeah. So I don't know if I'll use it, but it's here. This is also a handmade paper. Here it is. This has also been in my stash. It is a very faint yellow, but it has these beautiful little flower cutouts. I don't know how they did this, but it is paper and it's quite strong. It's fiber actually. So I guess it's not really, well, yeah, paper for all intents and purposes. Yeah. Sunflowers are yellow. I was looking for a few different things, but I like the look of the sunflower, so I just fussy cut a few of them from some free clip art online. I just took a screenshot and I printed it off and I fussy cut them. So I'm not too happy about the white backgrounds, but it'll be fine. Once we're done with it, I'm sure it'll be okay. Whether I use them all or any is a different story, but I have them. So I'm a little bit more prepared this time. I'm hoping all is good. Okay, let's see. So I did find a couple of yellow washi tapes. So this has been a favorite of mine in my journal. So again, yellow is in my inventory. I just don't really notice it, I guess. And then this is hella bright, but it is, it's not washi, it's paper, I guess, with sticky backing. So it's basically a giant Post-it note runner. That's what it feels like, actually. But we'll keep those there. What else did I get? So I did, this is the only yellow distress ink that I have, or it's not distress ink, it's pigment ink. So, and I just have my little daubers that I made. And then, so I don't know if I'll be using it, but it lends itself to, you know, softening up the edges and things like that. And you can use water with them to make a little bit more of a distressed look or whatever. So we'll see if we get to using that. I'm slowly running out of space on my desk, but we'll shift a few things around. So for here, these are Tim Holtz from his ephemera packages. So there's some yellow on them. I guess green is unavoidable. I don't know what it is, but the story is yellow. Finding yellow, looking for yellow. Gold is not technically yellow, it's metallic. However, for all intents and purposes, this is yellow gold. And these are the ones that I made with the gilding flakes before, with the glue and the gilding flakes. I don't know if I'll use any. We'll see. We can always paint over top of them just to add a little bit of more dimension. Excuse me. So I do have my oil pastel. Well, these are, some of these are oil, not all. These are my oil pastels, rather, from Grumbaker. I've had these forever. But yellow, again, you know, we'll use that. I don't know if we'll use this mustard color. I guess it reads more as a brown in here. But, you know, as a backup kind of thing if we need something. And then these are my other ones. These are just the cheapy dollar store ones. Sometimes they're okay, sometimes not. And then this is poster paint. That's what it says. It's by, I don't know who it's by. Crayon stick. But you can use these like, almost like gelatos, really. But it's really like sparkly. And these are metallics. So I thought maybe we could do like a little finish or a wash over top of something. I'll just take that off my And yeah, so I thought maybe we could start with that. Again, you know, yellow, it's a sunny color. It is all about composition at this point, or storytelling, really. So I like this watering can. I'm not so sure if it goes with this theme that I have in mind. I don't even know. And I think I will be Mod Podging. Unfortunately. Do I have a Mod Podge? Yes, I do. Okay. So I usually keep one brush for Mod Podge. It says varnish on here, but I use it for Mod Podge. Either this one or this one. I just go back and forth. As long as you keep your brushes nice and clean and flexible, anything will do, really. Okay, so all I'm going to do at this point is just lay those aside. I do like this. Now, whether I want to use the whole page, probably not. So I would just sort of, you know, just tear some up, because these are basically perforated with the little flower designs. So I just want to build a frame around my page. And I'll probably use the straight edge to put along the sides. And it's okay if it sticks out a little bit. I don't know if I want to glue it into the center or not. I might just go like this and just separate them. So that's basically, you know, now, again, it's just an experiment. I have never used these pieces before. A lot of this has been in my stash for quite some time. Now, I don't want to cover up all this lovely texture underneath, so I'm just going to move it up a little bit and just sort of play with it and see what works. Maybe put that one in there. I kind of like how it sticks out. So yeah, I was watching this movie. I don't know if anybody else seen this movie. It's on Netflix at the moment. It's with Jim Carrey and Rachel Weisz. It's called The Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. So the premise is, I don't know if you've ever seen it or not, I don't want to spoil it for you or anything, but the premise is, if you could erase something from your mind, what would it be? And would it affect you mentally or physically or any of those things? Would you still go back to the things that you had thought about before you erase your mind? Like, is your mind erasable? Is it possible to do that? You know, yeah, we all have bad memories that we don't want to think about, or, you know, we all have something that we don't want to relive, whether it be from childhood or from, you know, even adulthood. And sometimes a relationship doesn't turn out and it's too painful, or, you know, you lost your husband or your wife or one of your children or your dog or your cat, or whatever relationship you may have had at one time. You know, are you better for it? Are you worse for it? If you were to erase that relationship from your mind, how would you be? Would your mind reset itself? And, you know, would it lend itself to be reset? Is that even possible? I don't even know. But that's the thing. That's the premise of the whole movie, basically. And in some cases, it seems to turn out that way. You know, you think that if only I didn't have this experience, or if only, you know, I could forget about this person and just move on with my life. Is it possible to do so? Can you erase your mind? And that is the thing about this movie. I found it very interesting how the characters, Jim Carrey, like the characters still found each other. And that's the thing I found interesting because I think our past and our future are sort of intertwined in one way or another. I have no idea where to put this. And I think sometimes we tend to forget, you know, it's like experiences in the world are there for a reason. You know, they shape who we are. They shape our thoughts, they shape our everyday lives, how we behave towards others. You know, and some people may be anxious in public, but there's a reason for that. I don't think it's all, you know, anxiety driven. I think a lot of it is how we grew up. So whether or not we were, you know, taught a certain way to behave in public, or maybe you were shy and anxious as a child and your parents always said, oh, don't pay any attention to her, you know. I mean, I don't want you to force your children to be, you know, behave as if they're against whatever the case may be. You know, I don't know. That does not make sense. But the idea is to, I don't know what I'm talking about at this point. It all sounds so good in my head. But life throws curveballs. And I think it's our job as human beings to figure out how to deal with it. And how you deal with it is just as important as how it shapes our minds and our futures, personally. So, anyway, I thought it was interesting. The movie is called, I did say it, I can't think of it again, sorry. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Yes. So the idea, again, is to figure out why yellow has been out of my life for a while. And sometimes we are, you know, moved by fashion. You know, maybe it's not in color anymore and it's associated with a different decade. I always associate yellow with the 70s for some weird reason. I don't know why. Maybe because that's when yellow and orange came out in full force in just about everything. I remember as a kid having yellow and orange wallpaper in our, I think it was our living room. It was very graphic, very, you know, bold. It was weird. Let's put it that way. And I look back at some of those pictures, you know, from my childhood, and it's like, oh, what were they thinking? I don't know. That's probably not a good look. And then you just sort of grow away from that, I think. So here I'm just going to happily place all my sunflowers. Well, some are sunflowers, some are not. And yes, apparently I'm decoupaging it all. I don't know. Like I said, it's just an experiment. You can have fun with it. But I do want to make sure those little buggers stay down. Okay. There's no moving. But you can see the texture in the background. And then even though there's not a whole lot of color, there's still plenty of interest. Again, I like this one. I keep coming back to it, but I don't understand as to where I would put it. Now, this one looks like goldenrod to me. I don't know, whoever's allergic to goldenrod, I'm sorry. I actually may be allergic to it too. I think most people are. I know some people try to my neighbor likes to cultivate these in his backyard. It's like, really? So I can't even spend time outside because I'm sneezing and sniffling and, you know, it's a little crazy. I mean, it's a beautiful color. Don't get me wrong. Goldenrod is gorgeous, but most people are allergic to it that I'm aware of. But anyway. So in my little world here, all these flowers are going to sort of live together. Well, not all of them, obviously. I don't want to... It does sort of lend itself to over here. I don't know. I'm trying to. Maybe I'll just put that over there. The butterfly needs to be on here somewhere. It's his little garden. So that is where he's going to live. I tend to want to fly them off the page for some reason. Like they're going somewhere. Maybe because I'm stuck at home quite a bit now. That, you know, I feel kind of a bit cabin feverish and I just need to live vicariously through paper butterflies on my page, apparently. So, but yeah. I do like yellow. Some more than others, obviously. And it's one of those things that just, you know, yellow flowers, you know, like narcissus and sunflowers and buttercups and things like that, you know, they're all gorgeous in their own way. So I don't know. It's one of those flowers that brings a lot of joy. One of those colors of flowers that bring a lot of joy. So, there we go. Again, you know, composition is not always the first thing on my mind. It's more about the storytelling of it. And, you know, again, you don't have to do it my way. You can do it your own way. Anything will work. In this case, you can make it as crowded or as minimal as you could possibly want. And I will come back and do some more once this is dried. Because this is going to take a little bit of time, unfortunately. And then we will see if we can finish it off. I don't know, I'm hoping anyway. Because nobody wants to see, God knows how long this is going to be, but nobody wants to see, you know, an hour of this. So we'll see how it goes. Again, this is the basis of, well, the next step, obviously. So this is part 2, and hopefully part 3 will finish it. And if not part 3, maybe part 4. We'll see if we can finish it in part 3. But this is going to take a little bit to dry. So anyway, I'll be back soon. Bye.